Part 8. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gumu Shuang. Chapter 71. It is difficult for ordinary people to resist someone like Si Lu. He has a perfect appearance, and when he puts down his tricks to seduce you, Yingwan will not be moved. She took 2 steps back. Your father definitely doesn't want to see that a contract worth hundreds of billions is lost because of you. Si Lu. He couldn't help but chuckle, stood up straight, and resumed his nonchalant and frivolous look. The teacher taught me. Yingwan nodded. Bring out the contract. The contract was prepared long ago. Si Lu took out a stack of documents from the hotel desk, put it in front of Yingwan, and watched her flip through the contract. He put his hand on his forehead and his elbow on the table, slightly tilted, looking at Yingwan, but his eyes were fixed. Such a high-intensity eye contact would make ordinary people feel uneasy, but Yingwan fully utilized the ignoring to the extreme and quickly flipped through all the documents. The contract is fine. She took out a pen and signed directly. The contract was in 2 copies, one for each person. After signing, someone came in to deal with it. Seeing Yingwan, who had signed, was about to leave, Si Lu shouted, "You're going back now? Why, are you worried that your sister will be lonely in the countryside?" Yingwan turned around and glanced at Si Lu strangely, then said, "What does it have to do with you?" Talkative. Others would be stung by Yingwan's words, but Si Lu was thick-skinned and didn't take it seriously. He just raised his eyebrows and watched Yingwan leave. Very good, still unkind. If you treat him like this, at least you can't say it to others. After all, in terms of face, Si Lu still thinks he has an advantage. Yingwan said he would return home at 12:30, and it was 12:30. Lin Mei heard the noise, got out of bed and looked out, and saw Yingwan taking off his coat after returning home. She held the phone with a mask on her face, and said with some surprise, "You are back." Yingwan paused when she heard the shout, as if she was not used to it, and nodded after a while, "I am back." "Lin Mei, I thought you would be late. What did you do in the city?" "Everyone has a curiosity." Yingwan went to the city in the middle of the night. She must be curious. Yingwan said, "It's just something." She didn't say much, and seeing that she still refused to say, Lin Mei could only stop asking. Asking too much will make people annoying. Yingwan looked at the time and was about to go back to her room. She said to Lin Mei, "It's very late, go to bed early." Lin Mei was stunned for a while, and said happily after a while, "Okay." Yingwan went back to her room. Although she was curious, she also knew that some things were other people's privacy, not to mention the sister who had just come back. But she was reading the comments online all night, and she was a little upset when she saw those comments about Yingwan. No wonder even Lin Jiarui called her. "If I had known this, I would have never done it. If I had taken Yingwan home, nothing would have happened." With all these random thoughts, Lin Mei didn't sleep well the whole night. The next morning, she smelled a strong fragrance. With the help of the alarm clock and her strong will, she got up even if she was very sleepy. Because she knew it was time for breakfast. Yingwan had a habit of having breakfast on time at 7:30 in the morning. If Lin Mei got up late, she would not call her. After Lin Mei came for a few days, she got used to it. No matter how sleepy she was, she would get up at 7 o'clock and eat first. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gumu Shuang. Chapter 72. The show hasn't been recorded yet, so Lin Mei is not afraid of her without makeup. She actually looks good without makeup, but her complexion is not as delicate and charming as when she puts on makeup, and she looks a little haggard. However, after spending so much time in the countryside these days, I don't know if I have eaten 3 meals a day regularly, and now I look more refined even without makeup. When I got up, I brushed my teeth and washed my face briefly, and then I was ready to torment myself after breakfast. Yingwan made soup dumplings this morning. When she got up, Yingwan had already taken out the steaming steamer. 8 soup dumplings in total. Each one has a thin skin and plenty of meat filling, and is filled with soup, making it an extremely delicious experience to take a sip. Lin Mei's 4 should be 4 late. Even if she usually doesn't eat so much, Lin Mei still has to eat. Lin Mei was fanning herself while eating. Because it was too hot, she was shivering and still couldn't bear to put it down. Oh, it's so hot, it's delicious. After staying at Yingwan's house for so long, the food was really good, and Lin Mei was extremely happy after eating. The crew members behind the camera, watching the two people eating well, all had pharyngitis and salivation. Look at the ordinary fried dough sticks, soy milk and steamed buns in your hands, the contrast is simply tragic. They wanted to eat too, but they couldn't. Yingwan even found it annoying to be Lin Mei's. The key was that Lin Mei, a female star, could eat everything every time she ate without leaving any behind. After a while, let's see how much she weighs and how she can face herself now. Su Xiao couldn't care about her and could only stare at her from behind the camera. After breakfast, the live broadcast will begin. Lin Mei didn't sleep well last night. She was so sleepy that she couldn't worry about starting the live broadcast. She went back and fell asleep. As soon as she fell asleep, the live broadcast camera happened to be focused on Yingwan. At 8 o'clock in the morning, the live broadcast officially started. Barrage. Hey, here I come again. Looking at the rich is really tiring and annoying, so let's go to the countryside to find a sense of superiority. Lin Mei hasn't woken up yet. Ah, you are really lazy, Kong Kong's sister. My sister is really hard working. We are working as workers, so we got up so early. My sister has even eaten breakfast. It looks like she woke up really early. Why is my sister still so pretty today, watery and refreshing? Compared with yesterday's barrage, today's barrage is a little calmer, because most of them know the rhythm of Lin Mei's live broadcast, and they like this kind of comfortable pastoral style. In addition, Yingwan has long hair. If you do well, there won't be so many bad reviews. The number of people in the live broadcast room has dropped a bit compared to yesterday, mainly because everyone has to go to work now. Yesterday, it was because of curiosity that many people woke up early. 8 o'clock is also the time for many people to go to bed, so the number of people watching today is not that much. Zhang Shun still has 4 million, Ye Ni has 3 million, Yuan Qiudu has 2 million, and Lin Mei has more than 1 million. The 4 live broadcast rooms are 4 different stages. Yingwan didn't care about the camera in front of him. In order to maintain an all-round and authentic live broadcast, it was usually the camera lens of the aircraft, or the photographer followed from a distance. As soon as Yingwan left the village, she suddenly saw Aunt He coming over with a simple smile on her face. Wan, I have something to do and wanted to ask if you have time. Aunt He and her 2 children also ran over quickly, blinking at Yingwan. Sister Wan, Mom doesn't have time, can you take us to the aquarium? And he was holding 2 tickets in her hand. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 73. Yingwan blinked slightly. Aquarium. And he noticed the camera behind Yingwan but didn't bother to look at it. There was nothing she could do now. She took out the tickets and said, the eldest brother of the children bought 2 tickets and asked me to take them to the aquarium in the city, but I have something to do today and I can't go. I want you to take them there. The tickets are already there. You've bought it? This is an adult ticket, and this is a child ticket for 2 children. 1 ticket is enough for both of them. For children in rural areas, it is extremely difficult to go to the aquarium, and the ticket was brought back from the city by the child's eldest brother. And he has an eldest son who doesn't come back often. He has a family and works in another city. Will come back during the holidays. Looking at the expectant faces of the two children, and he rubbed her hands and felt a little embarrassed. I can't help it, there are too many things going on at home today. I heard that if you don't go, the ticket will be invalid. The ticket price is several hundred yuan, won. Do you have time? If you don't have time, and he will find someone else. The main reason is that Yingwan came back from the city after all, and she is a girl, so she can be allowed to play. And he still felt guilty because she introduced Aunt Chiu's son to her last time. She heard that the aquarium was newly built, and the ticket price was several hundred yuan. It was so expensive, and it would be a pity not to go. For them, just a few hundred yuan can almost cover their living expenses for a month or two, and she felt extremely distressed. But there is no way, the eldest son has bought all the tickets, this ticket cannot be wasted. Yingwan hesitated for a moment. Things at home don't have to be done now. Seeing Aunt He's expectant expression and the two children's expectant looks, Yingwan finally nodded. There were not many young people in the village, so Yingwan probably knew why Aunt He gave her the ticket. Because in the eyes of others in the village, Yingwan is now a poor child without relatives. Take care of him as much as you can. Of course, and he was also because she really didn't have time, otherwise who wouldn't want to play with their children. Seeing that she agreed, and he was very happy and gave Yingwan another 200 yuan, a little embarrassed, won, this is the money for your meal and bus fare today. 200 yuan may not seem like much, but you must know that for Aunt He, her monthly living expenses are the more than 1,000 yuan sent back by her son or the money received by her husband. She was frugal by nature and had saved all her money except for living expenses. Spending the 200 yuan on Yingwan and the three of them for a day was already an extreme luxury. She mainly heard that the things inside were very expensive, but she had no idea how expensive it was. Yingwan smiled and shook her head, and he, no need to spend money, I will take them to eat. And he was a little anxious, how can that be done? I heard that the things inside are very expensive, and I can't let you spend money no matter what. Yingwan, you gave me a ticket to play. I still have money for food. You don't have to worry. And he hesitated, really? Yingwan said, it's true. No matter what happens, I can't let you spend money on living expenses. Just think of it as thank you for giving me the tickets. I'll take them there and come back in the evening. Don't worry. And he smiled and patted the two children on the head, follow Sister Wan, and you must be obedient, you know? If you don't obey, I will beat you when you come back. The two children's heads almost turned into drums. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 74. While they were talking, the comments were also discussing crazily. I checked the aquarium in their area, the ticket price is 500 yuan, what a robbery. It is said to be newly built, it must be expensive. 200 yuan is definitely not enough, not to mention the small toys inside are dozens of yuan, a single meal is almost close to 100. Looking at this auntie's cautious look, I don't know why, I feel quite sad. I next door has a bag worth hundreds of thousands, it feels very reluctant to go here to play for a few hundred yuan, the gap is too big, it really feels so sad. The brain that is talking about I is wrong, right? Is it wrong for her to be rich? Who made you born in the countryside? Who made you poor? To be reasonable, everyone has their own opinions, you who despise the poor and lick the rich are not much better. You are so happy to go to the aquarium, you have never seen the market. Why don't you eat meat with so many comments? I am really disappointed. The comments were arguing over this matter, and the program team saw that the quarrel meant hot spots. However, when they saw Yingwan agreed to take the children to the aquarium, everyone looked at each other. Places like the aquarium can be visited occasionally when they have time, and spending hundreds or thousands of dollars is not a big deal for them. However, when they saw he carefully take out 200 yuan, everyone's eyes were still a little sour. Fortunately, Yingwan did not agree to take the money, otherwise she would definitely be blackened by the comments. However, if she did not take the money, could it be that she wanted to ask Lin Mei for it? Everyone subconsciously thought it was unlikely. She might not even ask Lin Mei to go. Su Xiao hurriedly called to wake Lin Mei up. Lin Mei was woken up in a daze not long after she slept, and she was shocked after seeing the message. She hurriedly got up and went out, and sure enough, she saw Yingwan coming back to change clothes and take things out. Lin Mei immediately asked her, "Where are you going?" Yingwan looked at her, thought for a moment, and then said, "The aquarium." Lin Mei was still a little angry, and muttered, "You didn't even ask me to go to the aquarium." Yingwan looked away from her, as if he found it a little funny. "Then are you going?" Lin Mei nodded like pounding garlic. Go, go, go. If she didn't go, would the audience just stay at home and watch her stare blankly for a whole day? The aquarium is such a good opportunity for interaction, and with a child, Lin Mei felt that she could get into Yingwan's inner circle again. The comments were also a little surprised. They just thought that Yingwan didn't take the money because he was going to let Lin Mei pay, but now it seems that he doesn't even want to ask Lin Mei. Some comments that originally shouted that it must be their sister who paid also stopped. But seeing that Yingwan still asked Lin Mei to go, they all mocked that Lin Mei had gone and someone was paying the bill, so she could spend as much money as she wanted. Lin Mei was extremely happy to go out, but it would take her a long time to put on makeup, and now she was in a hurry. Yingwan didn't wait for her, and just put on some makeup on her face. At least she looked delicate and lovely, and her skin was good. Seeing her so straightforward in the barrage, I felt more favorable towards her authenticity. The decadent look on her face when she just got up didn't seem to be fake. When Lin Mei was ready, Yingwan had already arranged to call a car, which was the van from last night. Because Yingwan had requested it, the program team did not let anyone else in the camera except them, such as the driver. The two children also sat in the car obediently. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 75. And his two children are a boy and a girl. The older girl is the older sister, who is 13 years old this year, and the younger brother is 11 years old. It can be seen that they are going to the aquarium to play, and the two children are wearing their usual clean clothes. They are not as dirty as usual. They wash their cheeks and do not work in the fields every day. The two children are normal children, and they are even fair and tender. It's just that it's not so obvious when compared with Lin Mei and Yingwan. And they are a little restrained. Because when I see the driver uncle, I always feel that the uncle has a special righteousness that makes people dare not talk nonsense. The program team originally wanted Lin Mei to find something to do with Yingwan. Now that the two are going to the aquarium, they are naturally happy to see it happen and sent a photographer to follow. Lin Mei got on the car and sat at the outermost with a cry. The van has 7 seats. The younger brother and Lin Mei sat in the back, and Yingwan and the sister sat in the front. 2 photographers squeezed in, one in the back and one in the co-pilot. Including the driver, it was just full. Seeing the camera, the child was obviously a little nervous. However, these children did not appear on the show for nothing. When they came, the production team asked the villagers to sign a contract. They would inevitably be on camera, and they would be given an additional compensation fee. Everyone in the village agreed. When Lin Mei saw the driver, she sighed. I don't know if it was an illusion, but I felt that he looked a bit like the courier I met yesterday. How should I put it? That aura is indeed not something that ordinary people can have. Suhan's signature is obvious, so his subordinates drove the car today. The driver just glanced at them lightly, and when he saw that they were all seated, he started driving. The people in the production team were not stupid, so they naturally recognized that the driver was one of the couriers yesterday. In addition, they were not allowed to be on camera, which was already a bit confusing. How did the courier become a driver again? However, Lin Mei only thought for a moment, and soon asked Yingwan curiously, Wan, which aquarium are we going to? She still likes the aquarium more, because she said she likes the ocean. If she hadn't entered the circle before, she would have done research on marine animals. Yingwan said, it's newly opened in the city, Uiya Oceanarium. She paused when she said this. She didn't look at the ticket when he gave it to her, and only knew it was Uiya Oceanarium after she looked at it. She was very busy all year round. She only signed documents and held some important meetings occasionally. Small business was managed by Bia and others, so she didn't know that Bia's Oceanarium was opened here until she saw it. Yes, this Oceanarium was opened by Bia. Bia likes to do business and has a great talent for business. Wanteng Group not only makes high-tech products, but also occasionally crosses borders to invest or create new businesses. Uiya series amusement parks are one of them, and Bia used the name of the company to establish it, which means that this oceanarium is hers. Oh, it's Uiya. Uiya is a chain of amusement parks. In addition to the aquarium, zoos and amusement parks are all available. It is a very large chain business and is very famous throughout the country. Lin Mei said, the Uiya series is quite famous. They have opened here. After visiting the aquarium, let's go to their zoo and amusement park. Generally, Uiya will directly open the entire series. Because it is very famous, many people go there to play. It has only become popular in recent years, mainly because it is willing to spend money. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 76. All the facilities used are the best and exciting. Safety measures and everything are in place. Because Uiya is backed by Wanteng Group, many things are Wanteng exclusive products, such as new VR technology and more technological products, which can be experienced in the amusement park. Yingwan glanced at the ticket and said casually, let's talk about it after. Okay. Lin Mei didn't care. Even if she was not very interested in amusement parks and had been there many times, it was still a different experience to go with her sister. The two children were silent because they had never been there. At this moment, they were a little nervous and a little excited when they heard Lin Mei and the others talking about this topic. How could children not like these amusement parks? Yingwan just glanced at it and was thinking quickly. After returning to the village, she couldn't help but develop Huayang Village, but the terrain of Huayang Village was really not very good, and the scenic spots had no advantages. It was not realistic to rely on tourism to develop, so she had to start from other aspects. It was definitely unrealistic to give money directly. Self-reliance was the foundation. She had not studied the development of the village in detail. After returning, someone would take care of it. It seemed that she wanted to let Baiya take a look. The car drove for 2 hours before arriving in the city. It was so slow that the child and Lin Mei fell asleep in the car. Yingwan took out her mobile phone to look at it. Sleeping was boring, but the camera accidentally took a picture of her mobile phone, which was the latest series of Lydia limited edition of Wanteng, and the barrage of comments broke out. Lydia is a very famous emerging brand in the jewelry industry today. Because of its bold design style and unique innovation, Lydia jewelry has quickly become popular in the industry and become an emerging luxury brand. Its status is not as good as that of old brands, but it also has a lot of audiences. Collaborating with Wanteng's mobile phone is an innovation. The mobile phone is marked with Lydia's logo and unique small design, which is also a win-win situation, but the price is very unfriendly. and it is limited, so very few people buy it. Yingwan didn't play with her phone much during the live broadcast yesterday, and she kept it indoors. When she took it out today, even if the camera was not aimed at her, it was enough for the audience who paid attention to this phone to recognize it instantly. How famous is the Wanteng phone? Now many people in China choose Wanteng as their first choice. After all, its performance is awesome, and it is understandable that there are both affordable and luxury versions. Barrage. Am I blind? The Wanteng JN10P Yingwan uses is the limited edition that cooperated with Lydia. The transfer price of this phone on the black market is now 40,000 to 50,000. How can Yingwan afford it? Lin Mei bought it for her. It seems that they have known each other for a long time. Lin Mei is generous to her sister. I'm jealous she really rose to prominence by relying on her sister. I also want to have such a rich sister. Ha 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 ha. Yingwan is really a hypocrite. She acts cold and aloof, and insists on not going to the city to record the show. She wants to live in the countryside. She enjoys using the things her sister gave her. She probably thought this was a very ordinary phone. I can't even afford the ordinary version, and I'm so jealous that I've become so successful just because I have a sister. It's true that you don't mind where you stay, you just worry about your bad luck. Lin Mei's fans said weakly. Lin Mei herself seemed to want to buy this phone but didn't get it. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 77. Lin Mei's fans felt something was wrong. After all, when Lin Mei herself didn't buy this phone, she was said to have complained about it, but she just didn't post on Weibo. She couldn't have bought a new one and given it to her sister, right? After all, she could have bought the latest one for Yingwan, and she didn't have to give this limited edition. Could it be that Yingwan insisted on it? The fans were also confused. The program crew was also very upset after seeing this. In fact, they had noticed the phone Yingwan was using a long time ago. Now they couldn't hold back their words, so someone asked Su Xiao, is the phone Yingwan using Lin Mei given to her? Even for people like them, it's hard to be willing to buy the top configuration of the Wanteng series. Generally, the standard configuration is enough. Not to mention the high-end limited edition in cooperation with luxury brands. Su Xiao said expressionlessly, no, Yingwan's friend gave it to her. This is what Yingwan said at the beginning. Friend. Others were a little surprised, and even the director looked at Su Xiao. Could Yingwan's friend be so rich? This is the question hidden in everyone's heart. Of course, maybe people are not allowed to have a rich friend. But Yingwan is really generous to just accept such an expensive phone. Someone whispered, limited edition is hard to buy, isn't it always that one ID card can only buy one? The one who bought it specially for Yingwan must be a special friend. Of course, Yingwan is so beautiful, they have long thought that it is unrealistic for no one to pursue her. It's just that Yingwan has been staying here and has never gone out. At most, she goes to the market in the town, which is a very small place. Her friends have never seen her and almost thought she was so lonely. Now it seems that she has friends. Everyone was confused, and Su Xiao didn't say much. She knew what they were thinking, but Yingwan was confusing, and she really couldn't think of other aspects. People on the barrage were particularly sour because of this incident, mainly because Yingwan acted very cold and rarely talked to Lin Mei. As a result, she was still using such an expensive phone bought by Lin Mei. In an instant, they felt that she was a little ungrateful. People are like this, the dark moment goes away quickly and comes back quickly. Yingwan's mobile phone incident climbed up the hot search a little at that time. It was on their way to the aquarium. It was just a mobile phone incident. Many people watched it, but not many people discussed it. It stayed on the hot search for a while, and then it died down. However, it was remembered by many people. Su Xiao and the others were not without things to do. If they saw something wrong, such as now, they would remove the hot search, and not let any random things affect Lin Mei. The program had to be recorded, and they had to leave a good impression on the audience as much as possible. No one expected that a mobile phone would cause some bad impressions. However, this bad impression was directed at Yinghuan. They quarreled happily, and Yinghuan did not react at all without looking at the live broadcast screen. She just held the phone and skillfully called up the comic app to read. It was a 2-hour journey. When they arrived, Lin Mei and the 2 children also woke up in a daze. Yinghuan put away her phone and said calmly, "We're here." The children were still confused at first, but they woke up with a cheer. They had already seen the huge aquarium building. The visible area within a radius of several hundred meters was all in the azure blue architectural style of the aquarium. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 78. Lin Mei saw the aquarium outside, and also saw the ticket entrance where there was still a queue. The aquarium was very large, and the driver took them directly to the parking lot inside the aquarium. From here, they had to walk a distance to enter the aquarium. There were huge blue buildings everywhere, and the whale statue spitting water was clearly placed at the entrance of the aquarium. As soon as you entered, there was a huge square. Lin Mei said, "Ah, I haven't bought the ticket yet, I'll go buy it." Yinghuan said lightly, "I bought it for you, the verification code is on your phone, do you go to get it or should I?" Lin Mei was stunned for a moment. "When did you buy it?" Yinghuan, "In the car." Lin Mei forgot to buy the ticket because she and her were in a hurry, but Yinghuan knew that she didn't have a ticket and had bought it long ago. Lin Mei looked at her phone and saw the ticket code that Yinghuan forwarded to her at some point. In fact, you can use your ID card, but Lin Mei didn't bring it. After so long, Lin Mei only had Yinghuan's phone number, and she didn't even add WeChat. Lin Mei thought about it and felt a little sad. But she couldn't think too much. When she went to get the ticket, Yinghuan and her children lined up to check the ticket. Lin Mei is a star. She is wearing sunglasses now. As soon as she appeared in the aquarium, she aroused the curiosity of many people. Although most of them were parents with children, there were also many young people. When they saw a camera behind Lin Mei, they became curious. After a careful look, someone screamed, "It's Lin Mei, Lin Mei." "Which Lin Mei?" "Oh, it's the super beauty who played in Snowflower." "Ah, she is so thin, even thinner than on TV, it's absolutely amazing." Snowflower is Lin Mei's most famous TV series starring in a costume film. Her costume in it amazed the audience and became a hit. Because it was a sudden whereabouts, most of Lin Mei's fans didn't know, although there are many people in the same city who are rushing to the aquarium. Some people were watching the live broadcasts of several stars, including Lin Mei. Now they saw the real person. Of course, it was much more vivid than the live broadcast, and they were immediately excited. However, this is an aquarium, and there are well-trained security guards on duty to prevent commotion. Lin Mei blew a kiss to the fans who were screaming at her, and said in a coquettish voice, "Don't get excited, I'm just here to have fun in the aquarium today, just have some normal fun, don't get excited." After she comforted them, the crowd soon quieted down. There weren't many fans of Lin Mei here, most of them were just curious about her being a star, and their original goal was to go to the aquarium. In addition, there was a camera behind her, so everyone was very sensible and didn't come over to squeeze, but they couldn't help but take pictures of them with their phones. It was the first time in my life that I saw a live star, so excited. Naturally, some people recognized Yinghuan and took pictures of her with their phones. It was difficult for the photographers to clear the scene, and they had thought about this situation when they came. Seeing that there was no commotion, they continued to shoot. Yinghuan just lowered her head, not caring much about those who took pictures of her with their phones. Some people wanted to come over and say hello to her, but when they got close, someone came out to stop them. They thought it was a staff member, so they didn't get close, and shouted to Yinghuan, "Sister, You are so beautiful. Prettier than on the live broadcast. Yingwan looked up and saw that it was a girl who was shouting. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 79. Compared to fighting with haters on live broadcast, everyone is much calmer in real life. When I saw Yingwan, I really thought she was beautiful. Yingwan blinked her eyes and smiled slightly. The girl was immediately excited. Beautiful, beautiful. When Lin Mei came over, she saw someone praising her, and she smiled proudly at that time. My sister must be beautiful. She was so approachable that she immediately caused a burst of laughter. The girl who spoke originally was even more excited. After checking the tickets and entering, there was inevitably another commotion, but fortunately the aquarium is very large. Today is not an important holiday, the flow of people is not very dense, and there are only so many people in each venue once they disperse. There was just a group of people who kept following Lin Mei and the others to take pictures. Whether being photographed by cameras or by passers-by, Lin Mei had long been accustomed to it, and calmly took Yingwan and the others around. The two children had never seen such a scene before, and they pulled Yingwan's clothes nervously. Lin Mei also took the initiative to pull her sister's hand and introduce the aquarium to her. She was very approachable, not at all as noble and distant as she looked on the screen. The children were soothed and their attention was quickly attracted. In addition, passers-by did not follow them all the time, so they gradually calmed down. Lin Mei was very happy and enthusiastic, and kept introducing Yingwan and the others. She really knew most of the marine life. Yuya Aquarium was very large, and naturally there were many rare species. She could tell most of them, and she didn't even look at the introduction posted next to it. Barrage. Wow, she really knows marine animals well. She can tell what species it is at a glance. It's so funny is the introduction posted on the wall next to her fake. She didn't look at it. She saw what kind of whale it was from a long distance away, and she didn't deliberately come forward to see it. She's really good at putting on a show, bringing two children to show that she did it herself. I'm so annoyed by the nitpicking in the barrage. Why don't you look at it if you don't like it? She was so proud when she praised her sister's beauty equals. Yingwan didn't look very interested. Isn't this her first time here? To be honest, I haven't been to Yuya Oceanarium yet. This time I've learned a lot from following them. The ticket price for a visit to the Oceanarium is 500 yuan, which is quite expensive. Yingwan took the initiative to buy a ticket for Lin Mei just now, which made her look good. Don't try to save face by accepting her sister's things and using her sister's money. What she used didn't belong to her sister. She graduated and didn't work. Where did she get the money? If she had money, she would have moved out of the countryside long ago. The comments started to become chaotic and messy. Bai Ya took the time to take a look after the meeting and almost died of anger. Damn, the Oceanarium belongs to the boss. Of course, she has no interest. I don't know what these people are talking about. He really wanted to reveal the boss's identity on the spot. Even if he wasn't a super genius, the identity of the chairman of Wanteng alone was enough to let these people know what it means to be the richest man's father and not to be messed with. But he didn't have the courage. Alas. Boss still wants to finish recording this program peacefully. Everything happens suddenly during the live broadcast, including the exposure of the phone model. Even if mosaics are added in time, there will always be some negligence, and it is inevitable that it will be seen by others. Looking at this hot search, Bai Ya suddenly calmed down again. Let's make a fuss. The bigger the fuss, the better it will be. He has a hunch that some news will always come out, no matter how well they hide it. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 80. While Lin Mei and Yingwan were visiting the aquarium, other families were also busy. Each has its own way of playing. Zhang Shun is now reciting his lines at home, and at least he seems to be working hard. Yuan Qiudu and his family have begun to travel abroad. Now they are on a plane for the time being. There is no signal, the live broadcast is interrupted, and there are even more other family members. Something big happened on Yanai's side, mainly because Yanai's sister came out. Yanai also has a younger sister, and she is 23 years old. During this recording of the program, her sister was originally abroad and would not come back, but her sudden return was unexpected. Who knows whether it was intentional or not? The key is that Yanai's younger sister has already studied for a PhD in Consile at a young age. Needless to say, she has a high degree of education. She is proficient in violin, fencing, horse racing, badminton, golf, and knows at least 4 countries. The above-mentioned language is also extremely beautiful, with the temperament of a famous lady. The moment she leaves the country, she is no worse than Yanai. Of course, Yanai would not be afraid of being compared to her when she asked her to leave the country. Her own conditions were not bad, otherwise she would not have been so successful in her character promotion. Her sister returned to China today, and her family held a welcome party for her. Knowing that her sister was doing a live broadcast, she introduced herself and said hello cheerfully and generously on her mobile phone, which easily won a lot of favor in the live broadcast room. Barrage. How come the gap between people is so big? I went to search and found out that her sister is actually a celebrity in the school. She is an awesome person who gets scholarships every year. It is not easy to get a scholarship from Constable. Ah, Sister Yanai looks so amazing to me, simply. Compared with some sisters who are not real people, this is a real lady. I really can't tell that Lin Mei is also from a wealthy family. Praise for praise. Saying that she is not from a rich family is going too far. Lin Mei's temperament is still visible. Okay, after all, she graduated from the world's top prestigious school. Lin Mei lost, the gap between the sister is not as big as usual. Yingwan actually has a pretty good temperament, but other things, it's not her fault that she grew up in a rural area. Her congenital conditions are not on the same level as Yanai's younger sister. Isn't it too much for you to compare her with others? Others can be said to be the gap in conditions, knowing so many things and being proficient in 4 languages, and Constable studying for a PhD. This is really not a gap that can be made up by ordinary conditions. I am so sad. Lin Mei also has other sisters. What's going on when you catch Yingwan to talk about something? The barrage quickly turned into an argument. She is also a wealthy actress, she also has a younger sister, and she is broadcasting the same show. At this time, it is difficult for anyone who wants to compare. Even the unintentional one can catch a glimpse of something fishy. Lin Mei's sister and Yanai's sister, one was born into a wealthy family, and the other was peeling radish in the countryside. Not to mention the audience, even the program team found this comparison a bit cruel. Su Xiao looked at the news from Yanai and immediately knew what Yanai had planned, and his face turned pale at the moment. He acted like a monster during the live broadcast. He is truly worthy of Yanai. She would not be willing to trample Lin Mei under her feet. Not only is he better than his family background, but now he is also better than his sister. However, even Lin Baoxi can't compare with her sister. As for Yingwan, even more. Su Xiao sighed quietly. Some of the school luxury brands mentioned in this article are fictional settings. I didn't expect everyone to reach 5,000 comments so quickly. You are very helpful. I will add another update tomorrow.